Forbidden Door has pitted the stars of New Japan Pro-Wrestling and AEW against each other for years. But we all know those crossovers aren't truly forbidden. What would really be shocking is if WWE and AEW could have a one-night-only showdown. If it could happen, these are the matches we'd book. When the Bullet Club stable was formed in New Japan in 2013, it's pretty safe to say that no one involved had any idea what a massive cultural phenomenon it would become. Over the next decade, the group would have 4 leaders who went on to massive stardom in New Japan before jumping to the top 2 American promotions. 2 went to WWE, Finn Balor and AJ Styles. 2 are in AEW, Kenny Omega and Jay White. If you could get them all together, why not have a 4-way battle for dominance between the Prince, the Phenomenal One, the Cleaner, and the Switchblade? To quickly go through the history, Balor, then known as Prince Devitt, formed the Bullet Club and made it a way of life for its members. But his leadership only lasted a year before he left for WWE. Then AJ Styles, who had come to Japan after his long run in TNA, served as de facto leader for 2 years, insisting that everyone in the club had an equal voice. But Kenny Omega didn't see it that way. After Styles left for WWE in 2016, Omega led with an iron fist, forming the subgroup The Elite. He also battled with Cody Rhodes over leadership.
I am the leader of the Bullet Club, and that I am the hero in this story.
When the Elite eventually broke off from the larger Bullet Club, Jay White filled the power vacuum and led the faction the longest of anyone for about 4.5 years. As with any popular wrestling faction, offshoots and splinter groups of the Bullet Club have come and gone. Balor had Balor Club in WWE, while Styles had the OC. The Elite still technically exists, though it has broken up and reformed multiple times. And White leads the Bang Bang Gang, formerly known as Bullet Club Gold in AEW. A battle between the 4 to be the one true leader of the Bullet Club would be too sweet, though we do have to wonder if the current Bullet Club leader in New Japan, David Finlay, would have something to say about it. Family has always been a big part of wrestling. The Von Erichs, the Wild Samoans, the Steiners, the Hardys, the Briscoes, the other Briscoes. Aside from Mark and Jay Briscoe, who sadly can't wrestle as a team anymore after Jay's tragic death, 2 teams of brothers have really carried the real-life brother tag team banner in the 21st century, the Young Bucks and the Usos. Matt and Nick Jackson have held a whopping 40 different titles together. That includes reigns in New Japan as 2-time IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team and 7-time IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team champions, respectively. They're 3-time Ring of Honor World Tag Team and 6-man Tag Team champions. They're 4-time PWG Tag Champions, 3-time AEW Tag Team champions, 2-time AEW Trios champions. They also had a reign with the AAA tag titles, and though they're not EVPs anymore, at least in storyline, they helped found AEW. Jimmy and Jey Uso, meanwhile, are 8-time WWE Tag Team Champions. They unified the Raw and SmackDown tag titles for a record-setting 622-day reign before losing them in the main event of WrestleMania 39. Yes, they're both on singles runs now. Jey held the WWE World Heavyweight Championship for a while after beating Gunther at WrestleMania 41, but surely the Usos could reunite for one chance at defeating the founding fathers of AEW. Arguably the 2 most influential tag teams of the last decade plus. Bloodline versus Elite, a matchup that's never happened before. This one books itself. A WWE versus AEW crossover event would not only offer the opportunity for some never-before-seen matchups, but also open the door to rekindling some old rivalries. Toni Storm and Rhea Ripley both came up in the Australian independent scene, but surprisingly never faced off in their home country. Their rivalry really got going in NXT UK, where they battled over the women's title 3 times. They also faced off twice in NXT stateside. Their last time in a ring together was all the way back in 2021 when they were on opposing sides of that year's Women's Survivor Series match. A lot has happened for both of them in the nearly 4 years since then. They've both won multiple championships and are arguably now the 2 biggest stars in women's wrestling. The on-screen presentations for both of them have evolved considerably. So not only would there be a shared history to mine for a memorable feud, there would also be a truly entertaining personality clash between the Nightmare and Timeless Toni.
The Americans are going to be very confused.
What are these Australians doing?
But the Australians are going to be absolutely... It's going to be insane.
Since their first matchup in 2018, Storm currently holds 3 wins over Ripley, while Ripley has bested Storm twice. A 6th one-on-one contest between the 2 competitors would finally give Ripley the opportunity to even the odds against one of her greatest rivals. Given the star power at play with this one, it could even main event the show. Despite their times in NXT overlapping a bit, two of the best high flyers and most dominant champions in women's wrestling have never faced off in the ring, so we'd love to try to make a match between Athena and IYO SKY happen. After spending quite a while only wrestling on Ring of Honor and indie shows, Athena now regularly appears on AEW TV, but she's still the ROH Forever Champion, with a reign that's approaching 1,000 days as of the making of this video. Her record in Ring of Honor is a jaw-dropping 68-0. Sky, meanwhile, is a multi-time WWE champion. She has held the NXT Women's Championship, the NXT Women's Tag Team titles on 3 occasions, the WWE Women's Championship, and the Women's World Championship. The quality of work both Athena and Sky put on display every time they get in the ring all but guarantees this would be a match with the potential to steal the whole show. Athena also calls herself the American Joshi. What better way would there be to put that name to the test than going up against Sky? It'd be incredible to see which one could hit their finisher first, the O-face or the over-the-moonsault. Hopefully, we'd see both, of course. Among all the high work rate, hard-hitting action, every show needs a comedic cool-down match, right? So why not pit two of the funniest performers in wrestling right now against each other? Chelsea Green has proven time and again that she's up for pretty much anything WWE asks her to do to get a laugh. She fell through a table at Money in the Bank, got slammed into a dumpster, and had her face dunked into a bucket of apples, just to name a few. It's always fun to see her self-absorbed heel character who currently leads her own secret Hervis to get her comeuppance. It's even more enjoyable because Green's over-the-top facial expressions and dramatic selling really shine through every time. Cameron, meanwhile, has been using her comedic talents in AEW to get over as a beloved babyface. She sings, dances, plays guitar, and even occasionally appears as Hologram's counterpart, Harley Graham. Most notably, Cameron has shown off her ventriloquism skills, getting big pops with her puppet version of Mercedes Moné.
I did this thing and then everyone was like, oh, you do ventriloquism, blah, blah, blah. And then I started doing more videos with my puppet.
Green recently revealed that she had pitched herself to be a real-life version of Alexa Bliss's Lily doll. So it almost seems like fate that she should be embodied by one of Harley's puppets, right? Frankly, when combined, the creativity between Green and Cameron seems limitless, which in turn would make their clash all the more unpredictable and entertaining. A popcorn match in the best possible sense. The aerial assassin Will Ospreay and Seth freaking Rollins have never locked up in the ring before. Rollins has been in WWE for most of Ospreay's active career elsewhere around the world, but there's already a built-in feud between the two. Back in 2019, years before Ospreay made the jump from New Japan to AEW, the two waged war on social media. On X, Rollins declared himself the best wrestler alive and challenged fans to name someone better. Ospreay simply replied, "I'm alive," which sparked an escalating argument that included Rollins bragging to Ospreay about the differences in their bank accounts. Rollins eventually issued an apology for how far the war of words went. It seems that Rollins and Ospreay have made amends since. Each has complimented the other's in-ring abilities in interviews.
Iron sharpens iron, do you know what I mean? He's so sick.
And they've both continued to prove their bona fides, winning championships and putting on 5-star bangers, which leaves the lingering question, which one of them really is the best? That battle for pride could easily be the basis for their match, with a heel Rollins prodding Ospreay to go beyond his physical limits. Add to that angle that both men have considerable pride in the promotions they work for, and it could also be a battle between two banner carriers for their respective companies. If we're constructing a card pitting stars from America's two biggest promotions against each other, it feels almost necessary to book a singles match between these two. Is it obvious? Yes, but sometimes these things are obvious for a reason. Let's just hope Max Caster wouldn't get involved with his best wrestler alive nonsense. Pretty much since the moment The Shield broke up in 2014, WWE has been mining the group for nostalgia. It didn't even stop after Dean Ambrose, now known as Jon Moxley, left the company in 2019 to become one of AEW's first top stars. Considering that we've already said Seth Rollins would have his hands full with Will Ospreay, that leaves the two remaining former Shield members, Moxley and Roman Reigns, to face off. Like Toni Storm and Rhea Ripley, both Mox and Roman have changed a whole lot since they both worked in WWE. Moxley has held the AEW World Championship a record 4 times and has sojourned to Japan quite a bit, winning both the IWGP World title and the IWGP US title. He also has a willing group of disciples in the Death Riders who are willing to do a lot of violence in his name. Roman, meanwhile, started his Bloodline faction and unified the WWE World and Universal Championships. He held the Universal title for a staggering 1,316 days. So they're both leaders of factions, dominant ex-champions, and former brothers. Maybe they'd hug it out in the end. Speaking of former brothers, Cody Rhodes and Hangman Adam Page were both once members of the Elite, and they were both there at the very beginning of AEW. But Cody left AEW for still unspecified personal reasons in 2022 and went back to WWE.
Feeling disrespected there, I wouldn't stand for it.
He eventually finished his story, winning the WWE Undisputed Championship at WrestleMania 40. As of the making of this video, he's currently in his second title run. Hangman, meanwhile, is also in the midst of his second title run in AEW. He likewise finished a long road to the title at Full Gear 2021, then another long simmering redemption arc at All In 2025. There's more to this than just champion versus champion, though. Do we know if Hangman had anything to do with Cody's reason for leaving AEW? No. It kinda seems like it was more of a Young Bucks Tony Khan thing, but it could absolutely be part of the feud anyway. Maybe CM Punk, who made it more than clear he had a personal issue with Page, could get involved, if he'd be willing to do it without really throwing hands, of course.